I don't have an agenda here, but I would like to chat about sanctuary cities, sanctuary counties. I'm from eastern Iowa, and when I out there talking to people, they just don't understand how cities, counties, it's not states per se, but how can they can choose to ignore the law. And we've had presidents who, if they didn't like a law, let's just not enforce it. You know, I think you would all agree one of the reasons we're the greatest nation on the face of this earth is because of the rule of law, and we're a nation of laws. So I would, and I'm going to listen. I'd like to have your opinions about sanctuary cities, how you deal with that in your state. I don't know if you have any in your states, but what your thoughts on that are.
Well, us going first, it's a challenge because we do respect our local governments in Utah, so our cities, our mayors and council people, our county commissioners. We don't support anything other than the rule of law. We think if anybody goes contrary to that, that's a mistake. If you don't like the law, change the law, whether it's a federal law or a state law. So I think we're asking for chaos and division in our country if we don't adhere to the rule of law.
Do you have sanctuary cities in Utah?
Maybe Salt Lake City. I think the mayor there would indicate we're not going to round up people and to violate their peace and tranquility to be upholding the law of the federal government. So I don't feel like it's their responsibility. So I don't know if I'd say we're a sanctuary city there, but that would probably be the only place that would be considered at all. I don't think they claim to be a sanctuary city.
Recently I saw on TV, you probably all did as well, the Oakland, California mayor saying that she felt it was her, ethically, she needed to forewarn potentially illegal immigrants that ICE was going to conduct operations in their area or in their neighborhood. Governor, can you give me your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts really are, it's a federal issue. We actually tried to find a state solution. We went to the, were challenged in the court by the Obama administration. We lost, where the court said this is a federal issue. I later met with President Obama, and he talked about his executive order, and I said, well, you're trying to do the same thing I did. We tried to do it by law and a state right position. You're trying to do it by executive order, and you're going to lose in court too, because it's a congressional responsibility. It's disappointing, I think, to many people across the country that we can't come together on that. Maybe there's different aspects we have disagreement, but we all agree we should secure the borders. Why don't we just do that? It's not just the gate, or excuse me, not just the fence and the wall. Again, talking to President Obama about this, the gate doesn't work. We ought to work on the gate so that people come and go as we think it would be appropriate. And he agrees. He says, why can't we get Congress to act? That was President Obama to me. Well, that's the frustration, I think, of many people across the country.
Well said. Governor Martinez?
Yes. As governor, I took an oath to enforce the rule of law, that whether that be the federal government and the implementation of their federal laws and the state laws. However, I also understand that the enforcement of immigration laws is that of the federal government and not of the state. I do not support sanctuary cities. I think it is something that is can be very chaotic. We are releasing individuals from jails, et cetera, that are violent offenders and not notifying the federal government that someone is within our community who is a violent offender, whether released from prison or from the state or from local jails, that now are amongst the population of the people. And I have a responsibility to protect the people of the state of New Mexico, the citizens of New Mexico, from anyone who is violent and being released from a jail. So I signed an executive order just shortly after becoming governor and doing away with sanctuary state policies. That doesn't mean cities have not declared themselves as a sanctuary city. However, I am very much not in favor of that. If the law needs to be changed, the federal law, then change it. But the confusion that is taking place is going to end up in some very terrible outcomes. And so that is why I don't support it. I support making sure that we're enforcing the rule of law.
With the indulgence of the chair, could Governor Otter answer my question? Governor Otter.
Well, thank you very much, Congressman. You know, it really is a pretty simple, 28 words. Those powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor denied to the states by it are reserved to the states respectfully or to the people. And if you want to view the scope and the jurisdiction of supremacy, look to Article 1, Section 8, or Section 8 of Article 1, because those enumerated powers are exactly what the 10th Amendment was talking about. That is where the government, federal government, is supposed to exercise supremacy. Those are the limited and delegated powers.
Thank you. I've gone past my time, but thank you for your service to your states. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.